Imagine a world where there is no music. Imagine that entertainment has been distilled into almost just a sonic burst, like a pill that you can just ingest to get a fix. It's uniform, it's repetitive. And then imagine that in this world, you find that you can create something personal, something original, something that's individual and unique to you. But then imagine that with that new knowledge, you find that there are other people who are creating their own music, who are creating their own personal sound too, and that by blending together those sounds you can create a beautiful melody. That's what this film is all about.
Well, when I read it through at first, I think I was apprehensive. You know, my character usually has a stronger dialogue, possibly a little bit more of a romantic subplot. Not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping for some sex scenes.
Well, the protagonist of this film is a young lady called Eloise, and she comes from a very rural area of this planet, and she is very disenchanted by the mainstream entertainment that everyone's listening to. So Eloise has started extracting the sound files from the hardware that's used to create this entertainment, and she's used those to program her own sort of computers to create music.
I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not my usual style. Yeah. But as you know, I'm sure, as my fans know, I like a challenge.
Tomorrow is our first day of shooting.
Tomorrow, how exciting.
So we're going to be cracking on. We're going to be starting off with your solo scene, actually,
Yeah.
where you build the instrument.
Yeah.
So we have yet to build the set.
We'll get a shot of you coming over, putting the chip into the radio where it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Then take the chip out and say your lines. Okay. And just at the point where you're going to throw the chip down, we'll have this beautiful close up. The chip will come right down there. Do this fantastic pan all over the workbench as the camera moves back.
That's us done for today. How was that?
Hunter, did you want Timo coming down?
Gilbert's relationship with Eloise starts off as a very tense one. They're both suspicious of the other. Gilbert hears Eloise playing music, but he doesn't know how to approach her, how to talk to her. And she in turn is very suspicious of him because she has learned to be cautious when it comes to questions of music. But I feel like their shared love for music is really an important source for their friendship, which flourishes and develops throughout the film. And I feel like this friendship is really central, a central aspect of this film and part of the beauty of it, and it shows how music can draw people together.
I heard
you.
you.
What are you on?
I heard you playing. I love music. I play all the time. With my friend Barnaby, we play in my cellar, but in secret because no one appreciates music.
Music?
Yeah, music. What you were playing. It sounded great. Would you like to play with us sometime?
Sure, I'd love to.
How about tomorrow night?
Yeah, that would be great.
Oh, I'm Gilbert, by the way.
Eloise.
Nice to meet you, Eloise.
His driving force as a character is his love for music, which he's always had to keep hidden from his family, from his friends, apart from his friend Barnaby, of course, who he plays music with.
Yes, there was one scene in the film that I really enjoyed, especially when we were filming it, with Gilbert and Eloise. It was in a room, and I was in the room, but not speaking, obviously, a man of few words, but Eloise and Gilbert were having quite an intense thing, and I was really quite making that scene, I feel, with that sax. I was like, cleaning it, and it was really something of pure delight.
Gilbert tells Eloise that they've heard about this place called Calarat. Now, Calarat is a big city on the planet, and it's quite cosmopolitan. There are lots of people there from all over the solar system coming together. And Gilbert's heard that there's an underground music movement there of people secretly creating music and breaking out of the mainstream where music is not allowed.
Because as we know, music has been banned on this planet.
It's actually at this point in the film that Barnaby utters one of his 3 lines. When Gilbert says, "Oh, Barnaby and I think of going," and Eloise says, "Oh, that sounds great, you should definitely go." And then Barnaby pipes up in the corner and says, "Oh, we're leaving tomorrow." And Eloise says, "Oh, well, all right then," and she's off, and the adventure begins.
Okay, go for it.
Cinematography would be a lot easier if Timo could just be a bit shorter and Michelle should just be a bit taller.
They're disappointed when they get there because all is not as it seems. As far as they can see, there's no underground music movement. It's just more people listening to the same mainstream rubbish, just in more cosmopolitan, interesting clothing.
We're down here at the karaoke bar. We're about to hit up a space rave, you know?
Yeah. The thing I think is going to be the most challenging is probably the space rave scene, where they go to that club in Calarat. So I think logistically that's going to be a bit of a nightmare to film.
And seeing as well, we've got 1 extra at this point.
Yeah, we've got 1, yeah, so it has to be a packed club.
So I brought my goggles and helmet and stuff, not really sure why.
Oh, well, it's just for like the atmosphere. Obviously you're not going to be on camera at all, Ian.
Well, yeah, of course I'm not going to be on camera, that's why I'm asking why. Yeah, I think I might try vertical for this.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, from here it looks better.
I like that, that's good. Let's work with it. Good stuff.
Oh, this is like the behind the scenes footage, right?
Yeah.
Hey!
As you know, I have done like so much acting in my time. When I took the part, I knew that it would be a really important part, and I thought to myself, you know, I wanted to do something that would really, you know, really kind of help my acting career. I thought that I could do something really meaningful with my time. Because, you know, I'm quite, as you probably know, I don't really need to tell you these things, I'm quite high up in the, you know, the acting circles. I know people like Johnny Depp and stuff like that.
Well, I directed this film last year called The Perfect Story, which was great. It was great fun. And I was privileged to work with a lot of amazing people on that production. Josh Mendelson, he's back for this film.
I was in this one film by this one brilliant director, I forget his name. What was his name? You remember by any chance?
Hunter Boydell.
No,
no,
definitely not him.
Woody Allen. Martin Scorsese.
No, none of them.
Spielberg.
None of them.
Wes Anderson. Bigger.
What was his name?
Kubrick.
No.
To wrap that up, I think I think the space rave in Calarat, it's going to be quite tricky to film.
I'll get shots like through you guys, kind of looking at the rave.
Get out of the way, dancers. It's been very exciting. I mean, my whole week has been building up to this scene. To see all the actors come together, to see all the characters come together in this incredible setting. I mean, the lighting has just been fantastic, inspirational, and I couldn't be happy with how it went. Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Josh, look in my eyes, okay? You have to focus. Okay, look at me when I'm talking to you.
Focused.
Okay, don't step back, okay? I need intimate emotion.
Eloise finally meets someone who hates this mainstream stuff just as much as she does, but he also hates music. He thinks music's not the way, the mainstream isn't the way either, and he is a true believer in poetry.
My part in it is this poet guy, and I rate that he's like really important to the script because, you know, he just is.
He is just very passionate about what he's doing, but has no interest whatsoever in sharing it with other people. He just, you know, he knows what he likes, it works for him, it brings him personal satisfaction, and that's all he cares about. Whereas Eloise is much more sort of evangelistic. She discovers music, she loves it, she finds out that it's called music, she didn't even know what it was called, And as soon as she can slap a label on it and say that's music, she says, "Oh, I love this music. I want to tell everyone about this, this thing." But the poet, on the other hand, he says, "I found what works for me. I like it. It's all I care about." And that's fair enough. Every man for himself. You've got to find your personal contentment and satisfaction. But Eloise says, "Surely, if you love it that much, don't you feel convicted to spread it?" And she finally persuades him to actually give her one of his poems to read.
Well, of course, I have to memorize so many lines. I don't know if off by heart, but... Actually, can I get a script? Ben, bring me a script. Oh, cheers, mate. You want to be on camera? No, of course you don't. Okay. So, let's look at this. This is one of my poems. Very important. Yeah. It's pretty, some good stuff. Oh, I like this one. This one's a bit cheeky. I hadn't really read the script beforehand, but, now I'm reading it, I'm seeing it's quite naughty, and that's good. See, I like a bit of drama in my stuff,
We are?
Right, okay.
We're good?
This is my acting coach, Ben Markley.
It's Ben Marquet with an accent on the Y.
Yeah, I never got that.
Oh,
it's a shame.
Okay, I've known Josh for how long have we been working together now? 10 years?
10 years.
10, 11 years? It's been a long
12.
time. Yeah, even 12.
Most of my life, I think.
Yeah, basically since he was a child. I just want to take a moment and just say, I'm so proud of you as a person. I feel like this movie is going to be a launching pad for your career. And you've done a great job.
Yeah, I think
you've been really committed the whole way.
You've done a great job.
Thank you.
You're very intense, but I like that.
Hey, sometimes we gotta be.
Yeah.
Sometimes at our most intense is where we perform the greatest.
I'm trying to be intense.
There you go.
I'm being intense.
Yeah.
This is my intense
That's
face.
intense. Little more? Yeah.
I'm almost touching you.
We're basically touching.
Is that what you want?
That's all I want.
I feel like there's people back there, they can probably think that we're kissing or something.
Those people can think what they like.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what you've brought to the table here. And I think that's why, all the cast and crew look to you as a leader.
Where are you from, Ben?
I'm from Bediddly Boing Odo, Idaho.
Much like Ryan Gosling in La La Land, when we have shots of Gilbert playing the piano, it is actually Timo really playing.
We're here on the set, and we've just started filming the scene where Gilbert discovers this beautiful piano and plays some of his compositions. I think it makes him realise that he's not isolated in his love for music. It's been banned in the recent past, but there's an underlying musical culture that he's come across, and I feel like this gives him hope that there's still a chance of changing things. There's still a chance of showing the world what the value of music is. A value which is worth preserving in the end.
would say that the thing that I'm going to find most challenging during filming is probably the scene where I have to get emotional, actually.
Which
you
one?
You know, the one where Eloise, she just kind of had enough, and
when
her
your
instrument is broken, and you know, she's in a foreign place.
Yeah.
She doesn't have her friends around her.
Yeah.
She doesn't really know the boys yet, you know?
That's a really tough scene, actually. Eloise hears you playing, and she's really distraught. She's at a very low point in her narrative arc. And then she hears your music from upstairs. And as though in a dream, she ascends up this staircase.
Eloise is downstairs, and she follows the sound of this music that's being played that is really different to anything she's ever heard before. And you see the camera comes up with her up the stairs, and then she enters this room, and I'm playing an instrument, and we get talking about how wonderful it is to be able to find music that we feel really expresses who we are and really expresses an inner feeling that she hasn't found elsewhere, and it's really exciting. I'm not the only musician here. There are several of us, as you imagine, but we keep to ourselves.
Where can I find these other musicians?
My name is Ravis Doper. That's my character name, at least. And my role in the film is I'm an intergalactic beatboxer who joins this band of misfits to come together and create what we call music. My musical inspiration has to be Brian Wilson, frontman of the Beach Boys. Back in the 60s, he was a revolutionary in recording, being a recording artist. And I think, you know, Ravis Dober is sort of setting the way, as Brian Wilson once did, but in a different galaxy. Sort of paving the way for others with his music as Brian Wilson has. So that's my inspiration.
To be honest, I've always been into some quite weird stuff. There was this show called Lavender Castle that I watched as a child, which is a kind of stop motion animation about some explorers in space, and it's very wacky, and I absolutely love it. Lavender Castle, look it up, it's a good one. I also love the music of David Bowie.
David Bowie sort of had a way about him that was very otherworldly. A lot of his music style, the way he dressed, didn't really conform to what we see as sort of a normal musician. My
favourite album by far is The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and Spiders from Mars. I think that's what it's called. And that was a big inspiration for this. I think that album was originally written with a musical in mind, because Bowie wanted to tell a particular story. If you listen to the songs, that's very clear, there is a story. And it's all about musicians in space. So that's been a very definite inspiration for the vibe of this film. And yeah, all credit to David Bowie for that.
Characters are very different and diverse, and so it's a very accessible film because lots of people from different backgrounds can try and, you know, kind of associate themselves with these characters. And I feel that this whole project and this whole collaboration we're doing is just really painting a really strong message. Rhythm is almost like an ocean, and we're the boats, and our paddle is the drumstick. Everyone has a sense of rhythm. It's just those who choose to lock onto it and those who don't. And that's how you lock onto it. You release kind of who you are.
You talk about breaking away from the mainstream. Shadrach is going all out to be different. And of course the people of Calarat don't like that. Hence he just ends up sort of busking at a roadside, banging on a crate. No one gives him any money, obviously, because they hate music, they hate his drumming. And, you know, they're pretty uncomfortable with him. When he finds the other musicians, he finds real acceptance there, and he finds a real ability to express himself for the first time.
I've really enjoyed it. I've never worked with so many amazing and diverse people. Because it's funny, the main, Eloise, the first thing she said to me was, "I know what you're thinking, I look like Mowgli." but actually she doesn't look like Mowgli. She just has a real spark about her, and just her creative vision and what she brings to the set is really quite incredible.
Yeah, she's a good kid, local kid. Yeah, she's a good one. She has a lot to learn. I think she's very new in the game, not like me. You know, I'm a veteran, some would say. It's like I've been in Vietnam, you know. But yeah, she's good. She's an up-and-coming actress. I think I have a couple notes for her, and for all of the cast. I think they could all do with a bit of help, you know.
So there's this very interesting scene towards the end of the film when Eloise has finally, after meeting the Countess, she's been inspired to go out and gather together a lot of musicians. So she brings in Shadrach, the drummer. She brings in Ravis, the beatboxer. Gilbert and Barnaby are with her as always, and so they all come together. And they start to improvise and jam together, and they create some really beautiful jazzy music. And then Ravis gets his hands on the poem that Eloise was given by the poet.
One of the best parts of this film, in my opinion, is towards the end where my character, Ravis, has his sort of coming to moment. He picks up this poem and starts reading it aloud.
And then Gilbert says, hang on a sec, and he goes over to his keyboard and he starts to play the melody that he composed himself earlier on the piano. And then Ravis starts to read the poem in time with the song.
He starts to read it in time and sort of creates the first rap song, I suppose, first rap song in the galaxy.
And then he starts to kind of alternate the tone of his voice a little, and he starts to sing.
Some singing starts to happen and the rest of the gang joins in.
And then suddenly we build up this whole song with lyrics. So that is the first marriage in this world of poetry and music. And it creates the first ever lyrical song. Eloise and her new friends have begun a movement that can't be reversed, and they've really kick-started a revolution.
Dude, you're going to nail it.
Am I?
It doesn't matter how bad.
That I couldn't reach out to you. There's no
I see, because the structure
it's 4 lines.
I see what Tim means. Yeah, it's 3, isn't it?
Oh, okay. You feel there's no one left to hide.
Could you improv it before?
When you're treading water in your own mind, just raise your hand. I'll pull you out. There's no planet so far from the core that I couldn't reach out to you.
We're here in the studio with Timo, who plays Gilbert,
and
is also a musical collaborator on this project.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about this, Timo?
I'm very excited to see all the bits of this musical project come together, and to be collaborating with Davis on this project. And it's sounding good, so very excited.
Nice. Should we have another run through, guys?
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome, let's hit it.
Just to be with you, you're in my heart, you're in my eyes. Turn your gaze and I arise. I can offer you this world and I will see it through. But all I want is you and me. I'll take you to eternity.
I think, music is the gateway to the soul, am I correct? I mean, apart from poetry and drama, but there's a lot of gateways to the soul, am I right? I mean, I can't help that.
I think music plays an immensely important role in this film. What would a world be without music? And I guess that's what this film is trying to dive into. I think the passion that these characters have for the music they're playing is an integral part of the film, I think music is everything to them, and I think that's what the film is trying to understand.
I really like the music in this film. We've got one song prepared of the 15 or so that's good. Given that we're starting shooting tomorrow, I feel like we've made good headway on that. I've got some people working on that, so that's good.
I just know some stuff from ukulele. when I first got involved with this, I thought it sounded bizarre, but that's sort of right up my alley. Where's that cheeky little... Yeah, there she is, yeah. Well, I don't know what this is. It's non-functional, but at the same time, oddly functional. We've got the bass notes up here. These little bits. So this is like bass guitar mode, basically. We've got a saxophone, tenor saxophone. I mean, you can't encapsulate space for people without creating an atmosphere, because obviously none of us really truly know what it's like, because we live on planet Earth, we don't live in outer space. So it's sort of something outlandish, and it needs outlandish kind of atmospheric music to capture it.
Like, I'm pretty convinced that I am, like, the most important character. But I'm not, like, trying to say that in a way that, like, makes me seem important. I'm being serious. I talked to the director. He's a stand-up guy. And he took me aside and he said to me, listen, mate. You're the best. And you know, how do you deal with that kind of stuff? Like, do you kind of say, like, well, yes, I mean, I am, but, you know, you gotta keep humble, right? And I'm honestly the best at that, I think. So yeah.
To be honest, for me, it's all about the couture I get to wear.
You do have some pretty sick costumes in this film.
I do, and I mean, I would say I wear the pieces rather than
the pieces wearing you.
Well, exactly.
So you want me to have the paper up like that. I think is this one very, very different from all your other interviews? I actually am realised being involved in this film, which is like particular stipulations about. Well, I don't really know what the film is about.
I think one thing that will set this film apart is its impact on artists to be artists that haven't even come into our knowledge yet. Artists that aren't even a thought, and that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning for this film. This is going to go places. It's going to touch people. It's touched me.
Well, it's always difficult to predict how a film's going to be received. You know, reviews always differ. People have different reactions to films, and critics often criticize things they don't really understand properly. But I feel like there's a lot of symbolism hidden in this film, and music can symbolize a lot of things. It can symbolize the spiritual side of society, which is lost and compromised by industrialization and consumerism and all these superficial things, and music brings it back to the core beauty of art, which I think people will appreciate. And film is a form of art, of course, and hopefully they'll make that link between film and music and how both can display the beauty of the human spirit.
I think it makes people question, and I think that's so important, because I think quite a lot of things that we listen to today, things that we watch today, are all so computer generated that they don't have as much reality and just rawness behind them. And this film just like helps to encapsulate like that we need to return to that rawness. We need to return to a reality that is an expression of how we truly feel. And so I think this film will, just kind of really inspire the masses to find the things that help them to express the feelings that they have in a way that is true and pure to them. So I'm so excited for what it's going to do.
I just can't wait to see what happens, and I hope that other people can learn to grab their paddles, grab their drumsticks, and really just try and navigate down the streams of rhythm in life. Yeah.
Assuming we do what any wise person would do with a space film, we'd, put it, like, I'd say burn it to DVD and send it out to space with the hopes of some long lost civilization finding it and understanding our culture and I think it would probably start intergalactic warfare.
It's going to be bigger than Titanic, Lord of the Rings, and Avatar put together. And you know, it's going to teach people a lot about movies, about good acting, and you know, all that stuff. Good directing. Our director is a spot-on kind of guy, you know? I like that guy. Yeah, he's a good one. Yeah, it's gonna win all the Oscars. I'm pretty convinced I'm gonna get Best Actor. Actually, Best Supporting. Both. Why not both, you know? Am I right? I'm right? Yeah?
I think people will like the film, but I'm not sure if it was recreated, people will like it again. It's kind of a one-time hit, one-time wonder, and our director's done a great job.
It's been a real labour of love for me. I've had a lot of fun making it. It's been quite stressful at times, but I think it's all been worth it, and it's been a delight to work with every one of the cast and crew.
Final reflections now that the filming process is over.
It doesn't smell like hot dogs anymore, but it smells like household waste.
That's true. How do you think this film is going to affect international cinema?
I think it's gonna shake it like it's never been shook before.
When the light is gone and the waters rise, you'll feel there's nowhere left to hide. Just raise your hand, I'll pull you out.
How's it going?
It's beautiful. So beautiful. The colours are just incredible. So good.
No, so you say I heard. Do I interrupt?
Yeah.
I'm Davis Roper, and I'm playing the part of Ravis Doper. There's no pit too deep, there's no drop too steep that I wouldn't dive in just to be with you. You're in my heart, you're in my eyes. Turn your gaze and I arise. I can offer you this world and I will see it through.
So, you down? It's gonna be a wild time.
What kind of a question is that? That's such a dumb question. Man, I'm done with this. Come on, get out of here. I'm done with this, come on.
There's no pit too deep, there's no drop too steep that I wouldn't dive in just to be with you. You're in my heart, you're in my eyes. Turn your gaze and I arise. I can offer you this world and I will see it through. When the light is gone, you're treading water in your mind. Look at the stars and you will find there's always music there for you.
It's a boring question. Let's do another one. What was your first reaction when I approached you about this project?
I'm not gonna lie, Hunter, there was a lot of apprehension.
Really?
At the start. I'd like to say I got over that apprehension, but it's a real bit sketchy about the face.
I understand. I think the idea of these clips is that